Hey guys, Galactic Marine 501 slash Jackson Wolf XE here, and today I'm going to be doing my first of two videos. I had forgotten that I had a contract or a video that I had started. Um, and so I'm going to put off the next video's items to the side. And now, let's get on to the victor of my top 10 Transformers of all time. And, no, it's not Optimus. We're just setting him out because he's in the same box. It is Boxformer! Boxformer! Now you can already see a little of him there. Yeah, my favorite Transformer of all time is Armada Unicron. Now, Armada had a few terrible molds and a lot of gimmicks and stuff. And Unicron, I mean, in terms of gimmicks, is no exception. Now, these back wings do not like to stay together. In fact, I had them together yesterday because I was going to do the video, but I felt like crap yesterday. I fell asleep right after I came home from school. I'd actually planned to do the video, then I'm like, no, you know what, I'm taking this stuff out of bed. I'm taking it out of my review area, and I'm going straight to sleep. I can't do this right now. So, yeah. Sorry it took so long to get this guy out. But yeah, I've got a few mini-cons, pretty much what I could salvage, and I think I have enough here to demonstrate all of his gimmicks. I think I have one that'll fit every hole within him. Now, some of you may not get that yet. Don't worry, you will. Oh, wait, I need one more mini-con. I think this guy is pretty essential because he does fill a size class that I don't have anybody else to fill. And that is Metroplex's mini-con. I don't know his name. But yeah. Some of you may have seen this coming when I mentioned, because I specifically showed Primus versus Metroplex, because I didn't want to show this guy off yet, because yeah. By the way, one of the review items for the next review is smelling really good. It's also my girlfriend's dinner. Yeah, she's coming over. We're gonna play Skyrim. She's been watching me play Skyrim because she hates video games. She can't play video games. Yet she wanted to see Skyrim, and she came over to see just me start it. And she got hooked, so she wants to see me play the rest of it. And we don't have school tomorrow, so yeah. I know it's weird to not have school on a random Thursday, but this Thursday and Friday are off because apparently there's some teacher conference or something, and about 3/4 of the teachers are going to. I basically, it's for teachers who have students with special needs. I'm not a special needs student. Well, actually, I am. I have ADHD, and I'm at this school because I got kicked out of my old school, but also because, basically, my work ethic sucks. I procrastinate like no other, and yeah, so I think now at least I can take a little time. And I know now, like, I'm starting to get an emo flip. If I look down, you can't see my other eye. That's weird. I'm eventually gonna have. My goal is, okay, look up either TJ Omega or Plastic Addict. That guy, his hair is my goal. Yeah. He's got really long hair, and I like that. I think every geek should have long hair. It just suits geeks to have long hair. And I'm actually growing this out for a costume. I'm planning to do Lock-On Stratus, and since I already have brown hair, dark brown hair, I'm just thinking, you know what, screw it. And, you know, some of you guys who know Gundam will be like, okay, which Lock-On are you doing? There were two. I'm doing Lyle. Although Neil is great, I liked Lyle's personality a lot more. It's a lot more similar to my own. I'm not like the guy who's just, okay, guys, I'm awesome. I'm a leader. I'm a leader. Here, follow me, and I can help you. I'm the guy who's like, yeah, yeah. I'm not that guy. I'm not a leader. Stop looking up to me. I don't want. I'm not a good person to look up to. I'm a bad role model. One of the scenes that sort of demonstrates that is when he found out that oh god, what's her name? I keep wanting to say Flit. When he found out that Felt was in love with his brother, he randomly tried to kiss her and like tried to basically seduce her, and then said, and then Haro says, "You struck out. You struck out." He says, "No, actually, that was my plan. I didn't want her to be thinking that I'm my brother. I didn't want to let anybody down by having her think, oh, this is just lock-on, but in a different shell." Yeah, I mean, despite his way of going about it, that was actually kind of mature. I'm trying to transform this guy solidly. I'm not doing it. Okay, so this is his planet mode. Now, there's only one minicon that has a very specific spot, and that is Dead End, his moon. Yes, his minicon is his moon. That's pretty cool. And he plugs into this little hole up here, and you can fold his cannon down and stuff. He's actually kind of more difficult to get in there than you'd think, because his minicon hole doesn't always like to match up. And these halves are actually two separate halves, and so they don't always like to stay together. Either that, or maybe he's broken, like Metroplex. No, he's just kind of loose, is the problem. This guy, being my favorite Transformer of all time, has gotten a ton of play. And you can actually flip the cannon out so he can shoot you, then eat you. So he can have fried chicken instead of just chicken. But yeah, and his horns, when you push his horns together, it closes the jaws there, which I think is pretty darn cool. I like that little gimmick. As far as kibble goes, as long as you stay away from the back, which actually, I mean, despite being very kibbly, and the sides a little bit, despite being very kibbly, I mean, I wouldn't call Robot on that as much as I would some. I've seen worse, honestly. Actually, Optimus is a little worse. The back part, those feet give away the legs. They really do. They stick up just a little. They tried to conceal them, but I can see why they couldn't. Because he does do so much that you have to sacrifice a little. And you don't see him in fire truck mode, so that's fine, I guess. Because if I'm going to display him in vehicle mode, I'm sure as heck not going to do the flatbed. I'm going to do the fire truck. Or the wing mode, but that takes up so much space. That's why I'm glad I found this mode, where you can have him with his cannons down into the sides, and the wings basically a little further back. Because I have depth. I have depth. I can deal with depth. The only thing is width. I have a lot of things on my shelves. And, I mean, so having him a little further back, I could put a few deluxe classes or minicons or something in front of him. Or Voyager classes, because he'll tower over them. So, yeah. But, on to number 1. Take other minicons, and they can fit onto his ring. I had enough to fill the ring. I don't anymore. There's Dead End on his wing. And now let's transform him. A little more in depth than a lot of my top 10. For the simple reason, I like some Transformers that transform with simplicity. Really, it's the character. With Unicron, a good in-depth transformation. Because this guy had a really sort of menacing air, and he was really sort of high-tech in the show. And had a lot going on. And I like that this guy's transformation is difficult. The first thing I always do is I always fold the wings down. Just gets them out of the way. Split the face. Split the mouth of the planet in half. And then you can either rip these off or try to do it with them on. I'm going to try to get this thing done without having these fall off. But that's really a tall order because this piece does not like to stay on very well. Oh yeah, and if you hear my door open, that would be my girlfriend. She's over. She's not here yet, I don't think, but yeah, my parents will almost indefinitely let her in. I know what you're gonna say. No. Yeah. We have a small enough house that I know some of you are saying, wow, you're lucky your parents let your girlfriend up into your room. Yeah, my mom is in the room right across from mine, almost always, so yeah, even if we tried something, it wouldn't work, because she'd be right there. Then you fold these pieces up, creating the arms. You fold this section down, basically creating legs. Fold the side skirts down. Oh, side skirts. I didn't think I'd be saying that in a Transformer review. Gundams a lot of times have those, but not Transformers as much. And you fold the arms down, you gotta bring the wings back and up. These parts, I feel, these big, I think that the wings are best going straight back. These shell parts, I take them off to display it. And I'm going to take them off just so he doesn't have them on his back and they're easier to knock off. Because they don't really add anything to his overall look. Because they're just tucked away on the back. They actually make some of the gimmicks a little harder to get to. So, yeah. And then you're left with this. I'm going to go down to the legs and save the head for last. So for the legs, you point these things down. They will be changed later, but for now. Fold this part out and back. Flip the toe, which is pretty darn cool how that works. I like that a lot. Fold this part out and back. Now, for being a really gimmick-heavy Transformer, I have to say this guy is awesome. So awesome, in fact, that he got a reincarnation in Cybertron. A green incarnation, I think. But yeah. And he actually got recolored into his original colors and released as a special edition. Which is awesome that he actually was so good a mold that they felt that they released him as a special edition. You fold his hands out, and the hands on this guy. I thought Primus's hands were cool. Well, I had this guy before Primus. If you just have Primus and not this guy, you've seen the articulation. This guy takes it a full step further with a gimmick, and while maintaining, I have to say, it's not just the gimmick restricts. Okay, here I'll just stop being so spazzy about it. I love this guy. You may be able to tell that. I really do. He's amazing. He's the best Transformer I've ever had. Now for light gimmicks, push the head. Got blinking lights in the head. Be cool if they just stayed on. But yeah, that's cool. Then he's got another blinking LED light in his hand. Now you would expect that this hand would suffer a little bit. Maybe the fingers would only move as one set. No, they're just as articulated. And actually a little tighter on this hand, which is awesome. And you can have him hold things. The thumb moves out. I always have him with this hand sort of outstretched. And I actually, when I display him with Metroplex, fighting Metroplex, I have him grabbing Spark Drinker as Metroplex is charging at him. Grabbing the Battle Axe with this hand. Oh, and I just activated the gimmick. He's got a red LED in there. And that looks freaking cool. Looks like he's doing a Kamehameha wave or something. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z energy attack. And look at that, look at that. Despite the fact that his head flips for transformation, when you peg it down, you have rotation. It's tight rotation, but it is rotation. That's pretty awesome. And now, another one of my favorite gimmicks that this guy has is a gimmick that I call his Buster Shot. I don't remember a name for it in the show, but that sounds like a fitting name for something of this cannon, or a Planet Destroyer cannon or something. You're gonna take dead end here. I'm gonna hold this part down and activate it and have it do it a little slower so it doesn't fire. And yeah, so this will open up. Mine's a little jammed from time. Oh wait, and yeah, his. Oh, haha. Yep. Oh yeah, I noticed you can't have the arm that far up. You gotta rotate his arms out a little to have his hands. I have displayed him like this before with his cannon open and his hands out to the sides like he's sort of like shooting this thing. And now the missile. If this were the missile, it would be a pretty decently sized missile, but no, it opens. And you could actually open it more if you want when it's out to make it into a satellite of some kind. It could have been actually called the satellite cannon. I don't know. I don't remember this from the show. But that's a pretty cool missile. That's a nice missile. I mean, it's a missile, yet it has opening parts, spreads open when it flies out. It's got all of this molded detail onto it. And, I mean, when it's in the chest, this is all you see, and it actually still looks really good. And, I mean, when I display it with the chest cannon open, I always just pose the missile, just sort of shove it in there. You can have it sort of sticking out. Once you get it so that it opens, though, it just sort of flops and doesn't work. You can get it in there, though, and still have it stick. You can't push it back in, though, because the spring gimmick is there. And, oh yeah, when you activate the chest cannon, his eyes flash automatically, which is kind of cool. And, you know, if that were the only way to activate the eye flash, that would be pretty good. That would be okay. But they do give you the option. And when the head is turned, the eyes still flash. Let's see if they actually work with the chest cannon when the head is turned. And I'm actually going to hold it down since I'm doing this at an angle now, just so I can see it. I'm going to give you guys a little tour of what goes on in the back for chest cannon. Okay, so there's a little hole there. And you just plug a minicon, it doesn't have to be dead end, into there. And it does it automatically. Let's see, one more shot with the chest cannon. Oh, his eyes don't activate with the chest cannon shot when his head is turned, which I guess is okay. Because, I mean, it can't make the electric connections when the head is turned, I guess. And this thing is so powerful. This chest cannon is so powerful. When it hits my computer screen, it actually makes the color distort. I didn't think it would do that, so that's why I felt fine with shooting it at my computer screen. I'm not doing that again. I'm not. He also has 6 more missiles in racks on his legs. Now these are kind of standard. You plug a minicon in, and then you pull it forward and they fire sequentially. The top ones, then this one, as it's pulled forward. You can sometimes trick it and make it fire the first one just by jiggling this, but it's not as frequent as some other missile fire minicon gimmicks. Now, Unicron's whole thing was that he basically used the minicons as batteries, so he's got a lot of storage spaces. Let's take first Metroplex's minicon. All you gotta do is fold these drills up, and then pull down his front skirt. I know, insert your own joke. I'm not gonna make one because it's necessary to get to this. You needed to be able to move that to get in here. He's got an area in his stomach. Now that is the best place to store a minicon. In his stomach. Think about that. He just ate it, basically. He had, you see, and you can actually see it in there. Not as well on camera, but yeah, you could see it in there. Here, let's see. Yeah, I could definitely make out all of the minicon detail in there. It's not picking it up because the camera has light behind it, and yeah. Then he has these here. Okay, you know what? First off, let's get barrel roll and barrel roll. This is one of my favorite minicons, by the way. If I had to choose top 10 minicons, this guy would easily make number 1. It was one of those triple mode changers when they first started doing the ones with the alt modes for the robot weapons. And if the power core combiners had done it this well, I would have picked up more of them. I would have gone all out with that series if they had done them like this guy. Now this guy has a convincing airplane mode. See? Very nice little airplane. For robot mode, pull him up like this. Pull the wings back, bring the arms down. Pull the wings back, bring the arms down. Spin this 180. This guy, by the way, is not named Barrel Roll. He's got a different name. I don't remember it, though, so I call him Barrel Roll. Pull this piece down. Fold the wings back out with the arms down now, after you've spun that around. Here's his robot mode. That's a pretty nice... Oh, yeah, and unpeg the legs and bring them a little bit forward to make him stand. That's a pretty nice little minicon robot mode. He's got knees that bend. He's got arm articulation out to the sides, none forward and back, but hey, it's a minicon. And he doesn't look like just a fighter plane. You change enough of him that he looks okay as a robot. Now he's got a third mode, which most triple changers pull off all of the modes. 2 of the modes at least are really hindered by a triple change. Now let's turn him back into his airplane mode. What you did change him, this is cool. It's like he's flying through the air. You basically pull the cockpit back like so. Oh wait, I forgot to do one thing. Hold these up, spin this around, hold these back down. You pull the cockpit up as he's flying through the air, and then you fold the wings up and he dock onto the Autobot. And that's a Gatling gun. He's got all of those molded in turbines, which were the wing turbines for the jet mode, but now fire lasers. That is so cool. He's a 6-shot cannon. Come on. And he pulls off all 3 really well. Now for Unicron, since I have 2 of the exact same guy, I can put them on his shoulders in these little slots. And yes, you could turn the slots and make them fire forward, which is awesome. So if you have Unicron and you have these guys, you're in luck, because they do complement him, having little guns on his shoulders. It would be a little better if he had 2 of the same gun, but yeah. Now here's the only problem that I face with this guy. One of them is painted, the others 5 are not. That's the only real nitpick I have. The face is still just as good, though. So, hey. This guy's barrel roll, by the way. The gray version is barrel roll. And, yeah, I just have this out to the side. A little forward, but still, yeah. By the way, these landing strips on his shoulders do rotate 360. Just putting them out to the side a little more keeps them away from the confusion that goes on up here. Oh yeah, and I think for this mode you're actually supposed to rotate these 180 just so they don't stick up as much. I don't know though. That looks cool too. I don't know, you could do really your preference. I leave them like this just because they give them a little more spike detail up near the head. You give them sort of that multi-layer spike thing going on. Now, if those were all the places to store minicons, in the stomach and on the shoulders, that would be fine. Oh yeah, and by the way, the hand articulation allows him to grip dead end or another minicon, which was a very well prominently displayed feature. So, oh well. I mean, yeah, it's not like that's just a bonus thing in there. But yeah, it's still a great feature. Now you can actually pull these little, here watch. See these fronts of the legs? Pull them out, and in there you've got another little nook with turbines to accelerate something. So let's take this guy. I don't know his name. It's a car though. He has a minicon. He's got his minicon port there. He came with the a T-Rex. I don't remember his name though. Stick him in there. He's stored. Sort of like Megatron had all those little cavities for minicons. This guy has them, but they don't inhibit him at all. Let's see, who else? Nah. How about you? This guy, the stealth bomber, just fold his wings up. He's a little too wide with his wings down. You could slip him right in there. Ah. I remember being able to do this. There. Okay. So yeah. There you go. You've just stored 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 if you want to put one on the back to activate the cannon, 7, 8 on the legs, plus all the ones on the wings. That's a significant amount of minicon storage. Now the wing ones are kind of crowded back here, and it would be much harder to do. Oh yeah, and if you want to have the wings out, you can do that as well. If you want to have them up, like so, gotta rip the minicon off of here, of course. But yeah, if you do it right, you can get them up there. There, like so. And I think that's actually why these rotate, so you can have them up and get the wings locked into the shoulders. And these guys would have to be facing sideways to do that, so I'm just going to take them off at this point. And that would be really hard to pull off with the shells on there, too, just saying. I like to splay the wings out a little to give them sort of a skeletal feel to them. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, the way I display this guy personally is most of the time I have him just sort of there with his hands over the untransformed Primus. So he's sort of like lurking over Cybertron, just because that's an amazing image. Unicron just like, yep, Cybertron's screwed. Yeah. Now, too bad. Transformers 4, they may make it. Too bad they already screwed over Cybertron. I would have loved to see that be the plot line. Unicron will probably come to Earth, and the humans will probably turn into Transformers this time. I mean, they really do too much with the humans in the Michael Bay movies. I mean, that's the only plot point that I really disagree with. I'm a lot better than most, but yeah, this guy is a freaking beast. Now, just a height comparison. Here is number 3, Metroplex, without Spark Drinker. Yeah, he towers over Metroplex. Metroplex is the best fight for this guy, even though Primus would be his scale in the cartoon. Because Metroplex is a tad taller than Primus. Here is Primus, obviously. Very obvious comparison. I think if the battle depended on Primus versus Unicron, Unicron would win. He's significantly taller. These guys are both about even footing. Unicron's actually a little lower. Primus would lose in the height category. I mean, you could give Primus the same cheating advantage by putting his guns up, and that puts him about on par with with the top of Unicron's head, not counting his extra kibble up there. But yes, Primus is screwed. Now, I guess since I'm comparing these two, I'm gonna go into some attack options just to show that off. Primus is a little more battle ready than Unicron, so Primus might be able to pull one out just by sheer firepower. However, if Skyrim is anything to prove, no matter how many archers you throw at me, my battle axe can take them all out. Because, I mean, guns oftentimes don't do enough immediate damage to something like this, to Unicron. They wouldn't kill him immediately. Shoot him in the stomach, he's dying slowly. I mean, a headshot, maybe, but... I mean, look at the condition he was in Cybertron, and he was still working, so... Hey. Yeah. I wish I had gotten this guy when it came with Unicron's head. But yeah. Yeah, Primus has the arm guns, the shoulder guns, and these god-modded leg, like 4 cannons in one, and then missile pods on the ankles. This guy has missile pods on the ankles as well. These don't fire. This guy has 2 firing missiles on the shoulders. He's got the chest cannon and the leg missiles. However, Unicron also has his laser hand. Primus does not have any close-range defense options. He can punch, but still, I could see you going Shining Gundam and ending that really quickly. Like, boom! Head gone. Not even headshot, head gone. Yeah. I love this guy. And if the way I used to play it was correct, one shot from his chest cannon and you're done. I don't care if you block it with the Mega Shield or whatever it was, the Minicon Shield. I don't care if you block it with that. I don't care if you block it with the Star Saber, the Neutron Jammer, I think was the gun, and the Cyber Shield. You're still finished. That missile is too big not to be a planetary level destruction thing. Now we have one last thing to show in this review. I know it's excessively long, but this is Unicron. What are you gonna do? Okay, dead end. For being a minicon, he's the best minicon I have, I think. I mean, he turns into a planet. I mean, there are no others that do that. And he's so versatile. He's such a great little ally for Unicron, and he does so much for Unicron, yet he's still got a terrific little robot mode. With shoulders, here we go. He's got knees, full knees, that actually bend 90. They'll bend a 90. Ankles, foot pose ability in there, but that's transformation related, so if you don't want to count that, be my guest. Shoulders. Now, these didn't have to articulate. These really didn't. Well, yeah, they did, kinda. But they weren't totally transformation related. And if you fold his arms up like this, he's got elbows as well. That is cool. And wrist swivel. So yeah, this guy is an incredibly articulate little guy. Not to mention, the cannon's paint job is really good. He's a generally solid minicon. And the face is nice too. He's got red on the face, which this is not going to pick up. Yeah, and he's got a very nice little T-shaped mono eye gimmick. I almost want to paint that mono eye pink, being a Gundam fan, but hey. And he actually has a place. I don't know what he could hold. He's got a hole for his hand there, so he could apparently hold something. I don't know what, though. If you know, tell me, because I'd like to know. But yeah. And he is a very solid minicon. Now, he does have one gimmick that sort of hinders him, and that's because in planet mode he could be a basically Death Star style rotating catapult thing. And he could rotate, his top half could rotate. I'm going to convert him back to planet mode so you can see. And in robot mode, if you're not careful, he may rotate on you. His arms may rotate weird ways. But yeah, when he's in planet mode, he could spin up here, 360 if you had him transformed properly. And that could be a hindrance in robot mode, but not that much. Terrific little guy. Now, this has been Galactic Marine 501/JexamWolfXian. I will see you guys at the next review. Bye.